From AccuWeather.com, this is AccuWeather Daily, a brief host-read article. It's weather news in a nutshell. Tracking seaweed might sound like a boring job, but the scientists at the University of South Florida Optical Oceanography Lab take it very seriously. At the end of last week, they sounded the alarm. Sargassum seaweed is forming earlier and in more abundance than ever this season in the Atlantic, 40% worse than the record year of 2022. Now, Sargassum is a kind of seaweed, which is a type of algae. Sargassum never touches the seafloor until it dies, and it tends to float in island-like chunks, and it serves as breeding grounds for fish, turtles, birds, and other animals. The largest concentration of the 30 million metric tons of seaweed is currently in the eastern Caribbean Sea and western Atlantic, and is 200% higher than historical records in April. Some of that seaweed will make it to the Florida and the Gulf Coast later this summer. But the devil really is in the details. Ultimately, currents and wind patterns will dictate which beaches are inundated with the brown stuff. Although seaweed has shown up recently near Miami and Galveston, those are more typical localized events and don't show up on the USF tracker, which gives a regional look at where the largest concentrations of seaweed are via satellite. So is this seaweed dangerous? Well, the hydrogen sulfide gas it releases when it rots is not only stinky, but it can irritate your eyes, nose, and throat. The seaweed can also contain jellyfish or sea lice that could also irritate your skin. Because it discourages beach tourism, in 2022, Miami-Dade County spent close to $4 million to haul the seaweed to a landfill before tourists arrived each morning. This year, officials launched a competition to find new ways to recycle the piles of sargassum, and they may not have any kind of shortage of raw material to work with. Taking a look around the country for this weekend's weather, a short break in the rain and stormy weather is on the way for folks in the Northeast. Rain will linger across New England on Saturday as drier air noses southward into the mid-Atlantic. By Sunday, the entire region will be largely free of cloud cover and wet conditions. D.C., Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and New York City are expected to string together consecutive dry days, a welcome reprieve following the daily bouts of rain during the first full week of May. The weather observation site in Central Park has recorded 2.79 inches of rain as of May 9th, which is 247% of the month-to-date historical average rainfall. On the opposite coast, Southern California will experience a brief taste of summer this weekend as temperatures soar to the highest levels yet this year. The same pattern responsible for bringing a surge of summer-like weather to the north-central states will also boost temperatures across California, but for a shorter period of time. Highs will be 10 to 20 degrees above historical averages through Sunday. Temperatures in downtown L.A. are expected to peak in the lower 90s on Saturday, falling just short of the daily record of 95 set back in 1934. Now, this is right on track with climatology as the mean first 90-degree day in Los Angeles. Shifting to the central U.S., the combination of the stormy weather in the southeast and an approaching storm from the Pacific will squeeze the atmosphere over portions of the west, northern, and central plains, and the upper Midwest through the weekend. The result will be a significant upward trend in temperatures through Mother's Day. In Bismarck, North Dakota, temperatures will trend upwards to the upper 90s by Sunday afternoon. The record highs will be challenged for both Saturday and Sunday, and this would be about 25 degrees above the historical average for those dates. Similarly, temperatures will trend upward farther to the east in Minneapolis with a high near 90 on Sunday. The building heat will make it feel like midsummer minus high humidity levels. The sudden heat could pose challenges for some individuals, and caution is advised when doing any strenuous outdoor activities. That's all for now. You can find more regional forecasts and science-based articles at AccuWeather.com. And for your local forecast at your fingertips, download the AccuWeather app. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe. I will be back on Monday with more from AccuWeather.